Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Eclectic Astrology channel. Just a quick voice note for you all listeners, avid fans of astrology and psychology, because this channel is all about uncovering the self in various forms and the complexities that is the human being. The human being, the more I discover and get into these podcasts, I discover that it's anything but simple. We are all multi-layered, multi-dimensional creatures. And in this channel, we are trying to unlock it through Vedic astrology, bridging it with things like Enneagram, the Myers-Briggs model, the NLP model, the multiple intelligence model, and so on and so forth. Anyway, the multi-dimensional Nakshatras series, what is it about? Those series uncover the basic bridge between the Vedic astrology nakshatras as well as the Enneagram, the 9 types of Enneagram, and the 16 types of MBTI. Now, as you know, there are 27 nakshatras. So, building a bridge is the attempt of these multi-dimensional nakshatra series. So, as you go through this different one of 27 nakshatras, you will figure out the different bridges that are possible between MBTI model, the 16 types, how it ties into the nakshatra, as well as the different Enneagram types which can possibly link to Pushya nakshatra. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, okay, my nakshatras are scattered in different planets, in different houses, and so on. It becomes highly complex. How do I figure that one out? Well, for that, there will be upcoming case studies which really gets into the deep dive mode. But before that, there are these multidimensional nakshatras. First, I urge you to go through the whole thing, see which nakshatra or which planet is sitting, and do your sort of own little homework, so to speak. Do your own little homework to see what is bridging in my chart, which planet is sitting, what is the function of the planet. Mars, for example, is drive and logic. Ketu is, for example, detachment and higher thinking, sort of a liberalistic thinking. Rahu is more obsession. Saturn is about work. Mercury is about intellect. Sun is about your thought process. Moon is about your emotions. You can try this on your own chart and the charts of your family, friends, and so on. So, first measure I would suggest is go through each one of these multidimensional nakshatras. The podcasts are scheduled up till 2027. So there's lots of it upcoming and already scheduled to premiere on different dates. You can see that. So I suggest you subscribe if you are a serious student of astrology who's also interested in some degree of psychology. Because, folks, let's face it, here is where I come from in this channel. Unless we know what the embodiment of soul is with respect to the mind, the complexities of the mind, that's where the soul is embodied, and the drives of the subconscious mind, we will not know what talents we have. And we are increasingly approaching an age where it will be vital for us to help our young people, our children, our students, the youth, in discovering their talents and abilities rather than thinking this profession or that profession. As you know, and as you can see in 2025, after the advent of the AI, lots of jobs are getting lost. People are losing the jobs and trying to figure out what must I do next. Now, this channel and all the content it provides with regard to uncovering your personality with respect to Vedic astrology and using all the models that are out there, I'm trying to bring to you a depth of content which is focused on uncovering yourself, your talents, your work preferences, where you would function best, and what you would enjoy the most. Yes? So this is where I'm going with the whole content. So multidimensional nakshatras. It's a bridge between the nakshatras, the 27 nakshatras of Vedic astrology, MBTI, the 16 types, as well as the 9 types of Enneagram. So enjoy.
A multi-dimensional Ashwini nakshatra in Aries. Did you ever wonder why some people seem to move faster than the world around them, as if propelled by an unseen force? They don't hesitate. They don't overanalyze. They act. They lead. They innovate. And before anyone else has even thought about taking the first step, they've already finished the race. When you think about it, these individuals have something unique, something almost otherworldly, that sets them apart? Is it any wonder that Ashwini Nakshatra, the first of all lunar mansions, embodies this exact energy? Born under the raw, untamed fire of Aries, Ashwini natives are the pioneers, the ones who blaze forward while others watch from the sidelines. They don't just chase opportunities, they create them. They don't wait for inspiration, they become the inspiration. But what exactly fuels this relentless momentum? Could it be their intelligence is not just of the mind, but of the body? Look around. Those excelling in emergency services, elite sports, high-stakes entrepreneurship, or military strategy all share one thing in common. They trust their instincts. Their intelligence is kinesthetic, wired into their reflexes, their muscle memory, their ability to act under pressure without second guessing. And yet, is it not obvious that their brilliance isn't just physical? It's deeply logical. What makes a top athlete, a skilled surgeon, or a bold entrepreneur succeed isn't just speed. It's the ability to see patterns where others see disorder. Their logical intelligence allows them to assess risks instantly, plan ahead, and adapt faster than the competition. Then there's the charisma. Have you noticed how some people naturally draw others in, making people believe in their vision? That's the magic of interpersonal intelligence, the ability to inspire, to lead, to push people beyond their limits. Ashwini individuals don't just act alone. They rally forces, they build movements, they lead from the front. But here's where it gets even more intriguing. Why do so many Ashwini natives find themselves in the healing professions, whether as doctors, holistic healers, or fitness trainers? Is it not fascinating that the nakshatra symbolized by the celestial horsemen, the divine healers, would be so attuned to restoration, renewal, and vitality? Their intelligence understands life itself, not just in the way it moves forward, but in how it regenerates. And perhaps the most overlooked yet defining trait, their unwavering self-awareness. Have you ever met someone so sure of their path, so unwilling to conform to external expectations that they forged their own destiny? That's intrapersonal intelligence at its finest. Ashwini doesn't seek approval. They know. They trust themselves, even when the world doubts them. So the next time you encounter someone who moves at lightning speed, who thrives in the thrill of risk, who trusts their gut more than conventional wisdom, ask yourself, are they embodying the raw, electrifying intelligence of Ashwini? Because when you look closer, you'll see they are not just fast. They are multidimensional, chat. The multidimensional Ashwini Nakshatra in Aries, the MBTI connection. Did you ever notice how some people own the space they step into? As if the air shifts in their presence? Their confidence isn't just visible, it's contagious, setting things in motion before they even speak. They don't hesitate, don't seek approval, and don't second guess. When you think about it, they don't just move through life, they drive it, bending reality to fit their will. These are the leaders, the visionaries, the ones who shape the world instead of being shaped by it. Is it any wonder that Ashwini Nakshatra aligns with MBTI types known for decisive action and fearless leadership? The ENTJ, ESTP, and ESTJ, commanders, risk takers, and strategists, mirror Ashwini's ability to act first, trust instinct, and dominate any playing field. They don't analyze endlessly or wait for perfect conditions. They move, they conquer, they set the pace. Their energy is raw, electric, and uncontainable, much like the fast-moving, pioneering essence of Ashwini itself. The ENTJ thrives on strategy, making 10 moves ahead while others hesitate. Their vision is expansive, their execution relentless, and their leadership non-negotiable. Like Ashwini, they don't wait for approval. They create their own opportunities and demand excellence. Whether in business, politics, or innovation, they lead not just with ideas, but with unshakable execution. Their force of will doesn't just break barriers. It obliterates them, clearing a path for new possibilities. Then there's the ESTP, the one who lives for the adrenaline of action, making bold moves in the heat of the moment. Unlike the ENTJ's calculated steps, the ESTP thrives on spontaneity and instinct, embodying Ashwini's love for speed, challenge, and risk. Is it not obvious why this MBTI type dominates in sports, emergency response, or high-stakes entrepreneurship? They don't overthink. They read the situation, make the call, and own the outcome. Their gift lies in their unshakable confidence and ability to adapt under pressure. And what about the ESTJ, the master of structure and efficiency, the one who thrives in order yet never hesitates when a challenge arises? Like Ashwini, they step up, take charge, and ensure things get done, not just well, but with precision and control. Their leadership isn't just about power, it's about momentum, direction, and results. They don't just set the bar, they become the standard for how things should be executed, pushing forward with unstoppable determination. So when you see someone who moves faster, leads stronger, and trusts their gut like it's their superpower, ask yourself, are they channeling the relentless, unstoppable force of Ashwini? Because when you really think about it, they aren't just confident. They were born to lead, disrupt, and redefine what's possible. The multidimensional Ashwini Nakshatra in Aries, the Enneagram connection. Did you ever wonder why some people seem wired for achievement, always moving forward while others hesitate? Why do certain individuals thrive in high intensity environments, pushing themselves beyond limits, refusing to settle for good enough? When you think about it, their drive isn't random. It's deeply ingrained, a force that refuses to be contained. There's a pattern, a psychological blueprint that fuels their ambition, resilience, and unbreakable will, propelling them into leadership, competition, and success. Is it any wonder that Ashwini Nakshatra aligns with Enneagram types that crave action, power, and influence? The Achiever, type 3, the Challenger, type 8, and the Helper, type 2, all embody different aspects of Ashwini's restless energy. One pushing for success, one fighting for control, and one using their fire to heal and uplift others. Each of these types thrives on momentum, on moving forward, on making an impact that cannot be ignored. The Achiever type 3 is the relentless pioneer, obsessed with reaching new heights, new goals, new victories. Like Ashwini, they are fueled by accomplishment, thriving in competitive arenas where results matter more than words. Whether it's business, sports, or innovation, they define success on their own terms, outpacing anyone who stands in their way. Their need to prove themselves isn't about validation. It's about excellence, mastery, and the pursuit of greatness. Then there's the Challenger, type 8, the raw power, the force of nature that refuses to be controlled. This is Ashwini in its most ferocious, unfiltered form, bold, dominant, and completely self-reliant. Type 8s don't ask for permission. They seize opportunities, take command, and impose their will upon the world. They thrive in high-stakes leadership, competitive industries, and roles that demand absolute authority, carving paths where none existed before. Their courage isn't just inspiring, it's revolutionary. And then there's the Helper, type 2, the unexpected yet deeply fitting counterpart to Ashwini's celestial healer archetype. Have you ever noticed how many Ashwini individuals are drawn to medicine, holistic healing, and physical well-being? This is where their fire transforms into renewal, their speed into efficiency, their energy into restoration. Like type 2s, they don't just act for themselves, they uplift, support, and push others toward transformation. Their drive to help isn't passive, it's fierce, urgent, and life-changing. So, the next time you meet someone who moves fast, leads boldly, and refuses to stand still, ask yourself, are they channeling the unstoppable force of Ashwini? Because when you really think about it, they aren't just ambitious. They are driven by something greater, a fire that refuses to fade, a force that exists to create, challenge, and heal the world. The multidimensional Magha Nakshatra. Did you ever wonder why some people seem to carry an aura of power, as if they were born to command, lead, and be revered? They don't seek approval, nor do they shy away from responsibility. They own their space, their presence, their destiny. When you think about it, these are the ones who walk with an unshakable confidence, as if history itself flows through their veins, as if they are heirs to something greater than themselves. Their power isn't just about dominance, it's about legacy, dignity, and the right to rule. Is it any wonder that Magha Nakshatra, ruled by Ketu and symbolized by the royal throne, carries the energy of nobility, ancestral wisdom, and undeniable authority? This is the nakshatra of rulers, of those who stand at the top, not by accident, but by an innate force that demands respect. Magha natives don't just seek power, they embody it. exuding the presence of a leader whether they sit on a throne or walk among the people. Look at the CEOs, politicians, thought leaders, and cultural icons who seem to naturally command attention, who inherit power and responsibility with ease, who carry themselves with a sense of regal authority. Whether in business, leadership, or creative fields, they understand that legacy is not just built in the present. It is something inherited, protected, and passed down. They don't just build for themselves. They carry the weight of generations before them and the responsibility of those who will follow. And what makes them so compelling? It's their unshakable self-respect, their deep connection to tradition, and their ability to lead without needing to prove themselves. Unlike Ashlesha's strategic cunning or Pushya's nurturing stability, Maga moves with pure presence, radiating power without needing to manipulate or justify. They are monarchs of their own destiny, carrying an invisible crown that others instinctively recognize. But here's what's most fascinating. Maga's power isn't just in commanding, but in honoring where they come from. They understand that true leadership is not about self-glory, but about upholding the values, traditions, and responsibilities that come with power. Whether through business, politics, or cultural influence, they act as a bridge between the past and the future, ensuring that what was built before them is respected and what comes after them is worthy of their name. So, the next time you meet someone who walks with the confidence of a ruler, who carries themselves with dignity, who naturally commands respect without effort, ask yourself, are they channeling the regal ancestral force of Maga? Because when you really think about it, they aren't just powerful. They are the kings, the queens, the inheritors of greatness, who remind us that true power is not given. It is claimed, lived, and passed down through time. The multi-dimensional Maga Nakshatra, the MBTI connection. Did you ever notice how some people seem to command respect the moment they walk into a room? They don't just participate in life. They lead, influence, and set the standard. When you think about it, these are the ones who own their power unapologetically, who see themselves as architects of their destiny, who act not just for personal gain, but for something greater than themselves. Their presence isn't just seen, it's felt, recognized, and impossible to ignore. Is it any wonder that Maga Nakshatra aligns with MBTI types that exude natural leadership, strategic thinking, and a deep connection to legacy? The ENTJ, ESTJ, and ENFJ, each in their own way, mirror Maga's unshakable confidence, authority, and larger-than-life energy. They don't wait for permission to lead. They own the space they occupy and ensure their influence is felt long after they've left the room. The ENTJ, the commander, is Maga's strategic ruler, thriving on vision, execution, and absolute authority. Like Maga, they are born leaders, unwilling to follow, constantly pushing toward their ambitions with an iron will. They don't just seek success, they demand it, orchestrating their environment like a battlefield, ensuring that every move they make strengthens their position and builds their legacy. Their strength isn't just in intelligence, but in their ability to command, mobilize, and inspire others to follow them into greatness. Then there's the ESTJ, the executive, the one who ensures that tradition, order, and power structures remain intact. Isn't it obvious why this type aligns with Maga's deep connection to ancestry, leadership, and responsibility? ESTJs, like Maga, don't just lead for themselves. They lead to uphold a system, an institution, or a tradition that they believe must endure. They are the ones who protect hierarchies, enforce rules, and ensure that power is wielded with structure, discipline, and a sense of duty. And what about the ENFJ, the protagonist, the leader who doesn't just command, but inspires and uplifts? Unlike the calculated ENTJ or the rule-enforcing ESTJ, the ENFJ channels Maga's larger-than-life charisma, leading not through force, but through the sheer magnetism of their personality. They are mentors, visionaries, and transformational figures, influencing through emotional intelligence, deep connections, and an innate understanding of what drives people. Their power isn't just about strategy. It's about legacy, impact, and ensuring that those who follow them are empowered to rise to greatness. So, when you meet someone who owns the room without trying, who speaks with authority, who moves with purpose, and who seems destined to leave behind a lasting legacy, ask yourself, are they channeling the regal, unstoppable force of Maga? Because when you really think about it, they aren't just strong. They are the rulers, the commanders, the visionaries who remind us that true power isn't just about leading. It's about creating something that lasts beyond your own time. The multidimensional Maga Nakshatra, the Enneagram connection. Did you ever wonder why some people seem to radiate power as if they were born to lead, command, and be remembered? They don't just seek success, they embody it, carrying themselves with the presence of someone who knows their worth. When you think about it, these are the ones who set the rules instead of following them, who build legacies instead of chasing fleeting victories, who refuse to be anything less than exceptional. Their power isn't just about dominance, it's about influence, recognition, and ensuring their name carries weight long after they're gone. Is it any wonder that Maga Nakshatra aligns with Enneagram types that exude confidence, ambition, and a deep sense of responsibility toward legacy? The Achiever, type 3, the Challenger, type 8, and the Loyalist, type 6, each in their own way, mirror Maga's regal nature, commanding presence, and ability to shape the world around them. They don't just lead, they establish dynasties, leaving an impact that is impossible to ignore. The Achiever, type 3, is Maga's charismatic force, always striving for greatness, recognition, and mastery. Like Maga, they don't just want success. They want to be the best, the ones who set the standard for others to follow. Whether in business, entertainment, or leadership, they carry themselves with undeniable confidence, ensuring that their reputation precedes them. They aren't satisfied with mediocrity. They command excellence, leaving behind a legacy of hard work, ambition, and victory. Then there's the Challenger, type 8, the one who doesn't just hold power, but demands respect. Isn't it obvious why this type aligns so strongly with Maga's royal, dominant energy? Type 8s, Maga, move through life with absolute authority, taking charge, pushing limits, and ensuring that no one controls them. They don't just lead, they rule, making bold decisions, standing their ground, and never hesitating to take what they believe is rightfully theirs. They understand that power isn't given, it's taken, earned, and protected. And what about the Loyalist, type 6, the one who understands legacy, tradition, and the weight of responsibility? Unlike the ambitious type 3 or the forceful type 8, the type 6 channels Maga's duty-driven leadership, ensuring that power is wielded wisely and structures are upheld. They protect institutions, honor traditions, and ensure that leadership isn't just about personal gain, but about sustaining something greater than themselves. They are guardians of what has been built, ensuring that it lasts and serves future generations. So, when you meet someone who walks with an air of nobility, who leads with unwavering confidence, who seems destined to be remembered, ask yourself, are they channeling the majestic, legacy-driven force of Maga? Because when you really think about it, they aren't just powerful. They are the rulers, the empire builders, the ones who remind us that true greatness isn't just about success, it's about leaving behind something that stands the test of time. The multi-dimensional Mula Nakshatra. Did you ever wonder why some people seem to embrace destruction as a necessary step toward transformation? They don't fear chaos, they dive into it, knowing that true growth comes only when everything false has been stripped away. When you think about it, these are the ones who seek the truth, even when it's painful, who challenge illusions, who uproot everything that no longer serves them in pursuit of something deeper and more meaningful. Their power isn't in stability, it's in disruption, fearlessness, and the willingness to tear things down to build something greater. Is it any wonder that Mula Nakshatra, ruled by Ketu and symbolized by the roots, carries the energy of deep transformation, intense truth-seeking, and the destruction of illusion? This is the nakshatra of spiritual warriors, seekers of wisdom, and fearless explorers of life's hidden truths. Mula natives don't just change for the sake of change. They destroy what is weak, false, or unnecessary so that something stronger can take its place. Look at the philosophers, revolutionaries, spiritual seekers, and fearless pioneers who aren't afraid to question everything, to break free from societal norms, and to seek ultimate truth, no matter the cost. Whether in spirituality, psychology, investigative research, or radical change making, they are the ones who disassemble belief systems, uproot outdated traditions, and challenge what others fear to question. They don't just seek knowledge, they want to understand life at its core, beyond illusions and superficiality. And what makes them so powerful? It's their ability to face the unknown with courage, to embrace loss as a form of purification, and to see destruction not as an end, but as the first step in true transformation. Unlike Jyeshta's controlled leadership or Vishaka's goal-oriented ambition, Mula moves with raw intensity, cutting through deception and creating space for something new and authentic to emerge. They are the revolutionaries, the fearless seekers, the ones who embrace the void so that something real can take shape. But here's what's most fascinating. Mula's power isn't in control, but in surrender. Whether through spiritual enlightenment, deep psychological transformation, or radical lifestyle changes, they understand that true wisdom doesn't come from clinging. It comes from letting go, from unlearning, from breaking free of attachments, and stepping into the unknown. They don't just seek progress, they seek truth, no matter how uncomfortable it may be. So the next time you meet someone who questions everything, who is unafraid to dismantle the structures around them, who embraces transformation as a way of life, ask yourself, are they channeling the fearless, truth-seeking force of Mula? Because when you really think about it, they aren't just intense. They are the alchemists, the spiritual warriors, the ones who remind us that before true wisdom can be found, we must be willing to lose everything false along the way. The multi-dimensional Mula Nakshatra, the MBTI connection. Did you ever notice how some people seem to question everything, tear down outdated systems, and embrace transformation with fearless intensity? They don't cling to the past. They seek truth, even if it means dismantling their entire belief system and starting over. When you think about it, these are the ones who reject superficiality, who seek raw and unfiltered wisdom, who aren't afraid to let go of illusions and walk straight into the unknown. Their power isn't in maintaining control. It's in destruction, rebirth, and the courage to unlearn everything they once knew. Is it any wonder that Mula Nakshatra aligns with MBTI types that thrive on deep exploration, radical transformation, and relentless truth-seeking? The INTP, INFJ, and ENTP, each in their own way, mirror Mula's intensity, desire to uncover hidden truths, and fearless pursuit of deep wisdom. They don't just accept the world as it is. They tear through illusions, seek answers beyond the surface, and rebuild their understanding from the ground up. The INTP, the logician, is Mula's intellectual seeker, questioning everything, breaking apart systems, and analyzing concepts to their deepest roots. Like Mula, they have no attachment to conventional ideas, instead preferring to deconstruct, refine, and explore new paradigms. They are naturally skeptical, challenging authority, societal norms, and anything that seems hollow or unexamined. Their brilliance lies in their ability to detach from traditional thinking and explore entirely new ways of understanding the world. Then there's the FJ, the mystic, the one who seeks deep meaning, who isn't afraid to explore darkness, and who thrives on psychological and spiritual transformation. Isn't it obvious why this type aligns with Mula's intense truth-seeking nature? INFJs, like Mula, search for something deeper than material success or societal validation. They crave meaning, self-discovery, and ultimate truth. They move through life, peeling away illusions, seeking raw authenticity, and transforming themselves and others through deep introspection. And what about the ENTP, the debater, the one who questions, challenges, and breaks apart outdated ideas with an almost rebellious energy? Unlike the introspective INFJ or the detached INTP, the ENTP channels Mula's disruptive, transformative energy into action, constantly pushing boundaries, shaking up conventions, and tearing down false narratives. They are the ones who refuse to accept anything at face value, always seeking to push further, explore deeper, and expose hidden truths. So, when you meet someone who thrives on radical change, who questions everything, who dismantles illusions and rebuilds their understanding from scratch, ask yourself, are they channeling the fearless, truth-seeking force of Mula? Because when you really think about it, they aren't just intellectuals or visionaries. They are the disruptors, the wisdom seekers, the fearless explorers who remind us that before real transformation can happen, we must first be willing to destroy everything false. The multidimensional Mula Nakshatra, the Enneagram connection. Did you ever wonder why some people seem to embrace destruction as a necessary step toward transformation? They don't fear chaos, they dive into it, knowing that real growth comes only when everything false has been stripped away. When you think about it, these are the ones who seek the truth at any cost, who reject shallow comforts, who face the void head on and emerge wiser, stronger, and completely transformed. Their power isn't in stability, it's in disruption, detachment, and the willingness to break down everything in pursuit of deeper meaning. Is it any wonder that Mula Nakshatra aligns with Enneagram types that thrive on radical truth-seeking, deep transformation, and breaking illusions? The investigator, type 5, the challenger, type 8, and the individualist, type 4, each in their own way, mirror Mula's intensity, raw self-inquiry, and ability to let go of attachments in order to rebuild from the ground up. They don't just exist within systems, they tear them down, unearth their roots, and reconstruct their reality with absolute conviction. The investigator, type 5, is Mula's intellectual seeker, always questioning, analyzing, and stripping ideas down to their core. Like Mula, they aren't satisfied with surface-level answers. They dig deeper, exploring hidden truths, unraveling mysteries, and dismantling illusions. Their detachment from emotional distractions allows them to see reality with a clarity that others might fear. They don't just learn, they deconstruct, ensuring that everything they believe is built on undeniable truth. Then there's the challenger, type 8, the one who doesn't just question authority, but actively breaks down and reshapes power structures. Isn't it obvious why this type aligns with Mula's intense, fearless nature? Type 8s, like Mula, challenge anything that feels weak, false, or limiting. They embrace destruction, knowing that sometimes the only way to grow is to tear down the old and start again. Their strength lies in their unwavering confidence, their ability to endure loss and pain without fear, and their relentless drive to forge their own path. And what about the individualist, type 4, Store, the one who rejects convention and seeks a life of deep authenticity, raw emotion, and profound self-discovery? Unlike the detached type 5 or the power-driven type 8, the type channels Mula's existential longing, their hunger for truth, and their need to experience transformation on a deeply personal level. They don't just change, they reinvent themselves, burning away old identities, embracing pain as a tool for growth, and constantly seeking to uncover their truest, most raw self. So, when you meet someone who rejects the ordinary, who is unafraid to destroy and rebuild, who dives into darkness to find light, ask yourself, are they channeling the radical, transformative force of Mula? Because when you really think about it, they aren't just seekers of knowledge or power. They are the revolutionaries, the fearless souls, the ones who remind us that before real transformation can happen, we must first be willing to let go of everything that holds us back.